Hey, Aloha offline sharks. Welcome to the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam Session. I'm Tom Gaddis coming to you from sunny Las Vegas. My business partner, Nick Ponte, coming to you from New York City. How's everybody doing today? We are super excited you are here. We have an awesome live show planned for you today, how to be a local marketing rainmaker. We've got a special guest. We're going to talk about local marketing. We're going to do some shout outs. We're going to give away some Cash App money. Here comes the money. And we're just going to have an all-around good time for the next hour. How's it going there in New York, Nick?
It's going pretty good, man. I did a lot of walking around today, doing some I was having some technical difficulties with some hardware. So I was in and out of a lot of stores today, Apple, Verizon, AT&T. Man, it's nice. It's convenient, living in a big city like this where just everything is so close. Like in Maui, I mean, we don't even have an Apple store. Let's just start there. Yeah. We don't even have an Apple store.
I've seen two since I've been here. I'm like, what?
Yeah. But let alone if you had a problem at Apple and you needed to go to Verizon or AT&T or whatever, I was just they're like, oh, you need to go to Apple. And in my mind, initially, I'm like, oh no, yeah. I'm going to have to send this out. And then they're like, it's right down the street. I'm like, oh, thank you. All right.
Yeah, just walk right in. Yeah. It's interesting. I've had to get used to the time difference for the lives. Cause in Hawaii, I pretty much start my day and we do the live.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know what to do with the extra few hours before. I feel like I'm late. I'm looking at my watch all the time. I'm like, oh, am I going to miss it? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I can actually go do things.
I know. I'm the exact same way. Doesn't it feel like, I was trying to tell you, it feels like you almost get half a day.
Extra time. Yeah.
Extra day in your life.
Yep. Yeah.
I know.
Really
Cameron,
crazy.
It's horrible over there, man. It's just miserable in Hawaii, man. We're just
look at us complaining about Hawaii.
Yeah,
we're excited you're here. We are going to fire up the intro and we're going to get this Aloha Marketing Jam Session started.
Are you ready for the fastest 60 minutes of local marketing strategy, tactics, tips, and fun on planet Earth? It's now time. The moment you've been waiting for. After 167 agonizing hours, they've returned. Broadcasting live from their island retreats, smack dab in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and now back for a brand new Sharks Live show. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Yes, one thing I've liked here, I've been able to pick up some new t-shirts for the live. I saw this one punched today in the face. I was like, perfect live shirt. I got another one that you'll see on a future live. So it's been nice.
Who was it that was making those memes about you and your shirts in the live? Was it Bruce? It Bruce Mayo or was it Bill Marks? No,
I think it was maybe Bill Marks. He had the graphic that was like, what shirt will Tom be wearing this week? It was great.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah. So I think about you guys when I'm out and about shopping. I'm always looking at t-shirts oh, what can I wear for the Sharks? Got to find some good ones. So awesome. You're with me everywhere I go.
The text is backwards today. I think are you on a special phone app or for your camera?
I'm on my phone. Yeah. I'm using my phone as my camera. So it says punch today in the face. But, yeah.
I guess now they'll have to go get some reverse engineered shirts.
There's probably a setting on this app that I can set that will fix that, but I don't know how to do that yet. But it looks pretty good for just being an iPhone, right? It's not bad.
Yeah, it does. It looks great.
Pretty handy, able to set it up. I got my little portable second monitor over here. It's pretty easy to bring the stuff here to keep on trucking along. So it's been really great. Man, I see we got lots of Sharks coming on. I see Cameron. What's up, Cameron? Suzette,
Janice is here.
Yeah, lots of people. Aloha, everybody. Yeah, it was Bill Marks. Somebody said it was Bill Marks. That's what I thought. Well, awesome. Well, like I said, Wayne, we have a great live show coming up. We got a guest we're going to bring on here in a little bit. Maybe we can, you know what we'll do? We'll just start off with a couple of Shark shout outs that we had from this past week. It's been interesting. I know a lot of places things are opening up. Life is getting back to kind of life, right? It's been interesting adjusting to that. I'm here in Nevada where, it's pretty much wide open, right? If you're vaccinated, no masks, everything's back, no plexiglass anywhere. So it's been interesting just to kind of get back in that groove of just being out there and doing things, So I'm sure everybody else is experiencing that as well. So it's awesome to see, though. Awesome to see. But it means this is a good opportunity.
Well, you know what I've been noticing, and I'll tell you where I've been noticing this, everybody, in the reporting that my agency has been giving our customers. I've been seeing some significant improvements in clicks, visitors, traffic, sales, conversions for like ads, for SEO, all the metrics of the world resuming back to normal and things going back up are really, really starting to pop off. Has anybody else been seeing that in some of their reporting and analytics that they're seeing with some of their customers, or maybe even just for their own site? I looked at and this is beyond just the people that were still operating during COVID. I mean, these are the people that were shut down. Like, for example, I have one of those. We have this activity here, everybody, on Maui. It's called you get to bike down the volcano, right? And it's a very, very popular one. And growing up, we hated all the bikers like driving around the road. There's so many of them, and like they make traffic and all that. But anyway, you bike down the volcano, and one of the biggest companies that does that is a customer of ours. And they had to stop, right? During COVID, they were completely shut off. So they emailed us and they're like, hey, we need to pause. And we paused for like all of last year. And we started again for them recently. Man, they're at like a couple $100K for the last month. Couple $100,000, like massive. And it's all because, I mean, things are starting to resume back to normal. So it has never been a better time to like really get in and go full speed at your prospecting and client getting.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time to be a local marketing rainmaker, right? I was noticing like right before I left, they were getting like something like 6,800 visitors a day in Maui, and it's not fully open, right? But like people are coming, so it's we're headed in that direction. So really awesome to see. Hey, we like to start every show off with some shout outs, and here's what we'd like you guys to do. There's a link on the screen. It's offlinesharks.com/shout outs. Go to that link. You're going to see our shout outs for this week. Just pop a congratulations, a well done, a job well done, a way to go, guys, whatever, way to go, girls, whatever you want to put in the comments there. Let these people know we appreciate them sharing their success so you can see what they're doing. And then towards the end of this live, we always go into that thread and we pick a couple people and we give them some Cash App money. So good time to be engaged, and you get a chance to win a few bucks. Not a bad deal.
Yeah. Heck yeah. We'll give away, we'll do 3 Cash App winners at the end of this show. If you go there right now and you do that this time. So 3 people are gonna be able to win from just that giveaway. And then we'll do another Cash App giveaway. I don't know. What do you think, Tom? Will surprise them. Maybe halfway through, 3/4 of the way through. You got to stick with us.
Yeah. We'll do some along the way. We got to be able to play the "Here Comes the Money" song.
But I want everybody, while we talk more about our usual stuff, everybody that's here, if you have ever had any questions that are SEO related, just specifically search engine optimization, and I know you do, because whenever we break this topic out, I mean, people are always asking a lot of questions. But right now, today on this live is going to be a great time for you to ask those questions. So make sure you get them ready, put them somewhere, hold on to them, and we're gonna break down some good information today. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Our guest is an SEO, a library of knowledge for SEO, along with Nick. So we got 2 people on here that'll be great to get your questions answered. And all right, cool. I'm going to take this link off the screen. Let's go over to our Shark shout outs and let's share some success. We had 2 shout outs this week. Here we go. You guys should be looking at my screen here. So our first Shark shout out goes to Zachary Hansen. Zachary sold a $97 annual listing for his AGM site to a local coffee shop owner. So congratulations, nice. Zachary. Way to go. I know the AGM, the influencer sites, we were talking a lot about how to use them, as the pandemic was getting underway while it was going on. But I just want to let everybody know it's still a very, very viable way to reach out, get your foot in the door with business owners, especially as things are starting to open as well. So congratulations, Zachary. Good job, man.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good one. And our second shout out goes to Safira Vidler. So Safira got her first mailer filled, printed, and it's ready to hit the post office and be sent out. Congratulations, Safira. That is, I know personally, that is an awesome feeling when those things get filled up. You're just like, you can breathe. When that last spot goes, you're like, okay. Like, whoo. Like, so congratulations, Safira. It's awesome to see that. And thanks for sharing that success in the group. We appreciate it.
Man, we've really had a lot of people filling up their mailers, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, dude, like the AGM, the influencer side is a great thing right now. The mailer is a really great thing to be doing right now too, especially as things open up, because people want to get the word out. They want to put deals out there. They want to bring people in. Like, it is a prime time to be doing those wherever, whatever area you're in as you start to get going. So yeah, really great job to the shark shout outs today. Love it. Love it. Yeah. So Nick, one other thing we want to do is we're going to do this at the beginning of the show this week, but every week we always like to acknowledge our member of the week. So we keep an eye on the Facebook group. Our team keeps an eye on the Facebook group, and we look for somebody that's engaging, that's just being a good steward of our community, and we like to reward them by making them member of the week, calling them out on the live show, and then we also send in some shark swag, which we're still working on some more of that stuff. So more of that's coming. I got to find the member of the week here in the show notes.
Yeah, I saw some of the gear is like really coming together. I know it's been a bit of a process. We've been talking about some of the merch that we've had in the making, but got some really cool stuff. And we've been, every week we get new mock-ups and things like that, and we go through them, and we just really want them to be right. So
yeah, we've been testing out, like getting samples of the stuff to make sure it's good quality, things you guys will like, you'll use. So yeah, we've been going through that whole process. It's been interesting to do that. And our member of the week this week is someone who's been going through another process that we have here at Offline Sharks called the Path to Six Figures. And he's not only been posting and helping out in the main Offline Sharks group, but he's also been posting and sharing about what he's been doing with the Path to Six Figures in our private Shark Alliance group for our Alliance members. One of the programs that comes with the Alliance is the Path to Six Figures. And it's basically a level by level process of going from zero to growing an agency. And at each level, we give you everything you need to take action, complete that level. We hold you accountable. You have to submit all your stuff at the end of each level. You get badges as you progress through. And our member this week has been going through that process, sharing it in the groups, which has been really awesome to see. And the way we put that path together was, Nick looked at how I started my agency, how he started his agency, and we just went one step at a time of what you need to do, from getting your agency stuff set up to selecting the services you want to offer, to figuring out what foot in the door type things you want to offer, to prospecting, to all that stuff. And so it's really a great step-by-step program. It's awesome to see people going through it. And with that, I'm going to just show you our member of the week. Our member of the week this week is Mr. Jack Daly. Or Daly. I don't know if you say Daly or Daly. Congratulations, Jack.
What's up, Jack?
Really, really awesome. Yeah, sharing that. That's a super professional picture. I love it.
Yeah, Jack, I've seen a lot of people join the Shark Alliance over the last week or so. So there's been a lot of people that have really jumped right through the first couple of levels. But it's always exciting to see when we have like a new swarm of sharks come in and start, just hitting those level requirements and sharing about them in the group. It's kind of exciting to see that people start to get that momentum going and move on up. So, and Jack being one of them, of course. So awesome job, Jack.
Yeah. And if you guys can blow up the stream, let Jack know. Congratulations, Jack. If you're on here, just let our reach out to our team. If not, somebody's going to reach out to you. We'll get you that shark swag and everything set up. But really appreciate you being a good steward and member of our community. So thanks so much, Jack. All right, I'm going to stop sharing that. Let's look over and see if we have any questions so far. I see lots of congratulations for Zach.
Janice said that the screen got a little fuzzy. So Janice, sometimes that happens. Like sometimes if your Wi-Fi kind of dips a little bit. It might get a little fuzzy, or it might even be our Wi-Fi. Streams can kind of be clunky sometimes. So it should fix itself pretty shortly, though.
Yeah. Just trying to look through to see if we had any questions that came in before we bring our special guest on. But no, maybe Nick, you want to talk a little bit about our guest, because I know you have a lot of history with them and their process and what they're doing over there, and yeah, we'll get them out here.
Yeah, let's do it. So let's see. Somebody had mentioned about how great the webinar was yesterday, and it really was. You know, we had an incredible story of a gentleman who really just went from, I mean, not even knowing how to speak English to just
he
really
from South Africa. South Africa here, doesn't know how to speak English. He had probably, like, I thought, Nick, one of the best lines I had ever heard, because he said when he was talking to potential prospects, he would say, like, you'll notice my English isn't good. He'd say, I don't speak great English, but I speak really great SEO. So I can help you out. I was like, oh man, that is like such an awesome line.
That's a really great line.
Yeah.
What I really took away from that was just, you know, realizing how much of a valuable skill getting search engine optimization under your belt is, you know, and it has been for me. I mean, it truly has been, and for him as well, and so many others. And so how it all started really for me was, I think, I think it's close to 5 years now. I was on a webinar where I had maybe I had my own website at that time, and it was like a Enfold. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the Enfold theme, but it's like one of the most popular newbie themes out there, right? And I had just all the demo content, nothing specific about me, all the placeholder images, and like that's how I was green, right? I didn't have any recurring clients. I had only built a couple of websites, and then I was on this webinar and I started hearing about how you could get residual payments from people, how transitioning from selling one-off services like websites, which websites are great. Who here is selling websites? Let me know if you're selling websites. I still sell websites, right? I sold 2 in the last week, two decent sized websites. And the problem with them is that every time, and Tom can relate to this, because when we started working together, we started building a lot of websites as well. Yeah. But the problem is, you know, every time you need to pay your bills, you have to go out and get a new customer, right? You have to start an entirely new relationship. And that's the difficult part, right? You guys know this. Going out and getting a new customer can be a difficult process. You have to start a relationship, build a relationship, find somebody in need, convince them to trust you, convince them to give you money, convince them that your thing is going to solve their problem. So on this webinar, it was a totally foreign concept to me, was the idea of getting somebody to pay you month after month for a service that you could offer monthly, a monthly retainer, I guess, right? That was probably one of the first times I heard that concept, a monthly retainer. And I thought those were, you know, just for like people in, you know, the legal industry. But yeah. But really, that planted the seed for where I started to go, you know, for building a search engine optimization business. And still till this day, we always take our one-off clients, our website designs, and it could be anything. It could be a business card. You know, we're doing a business card for a company, and we always try to transition them into some sort of recurring service, something that we can do each month so we can get paid over and over again. And SEO has been the most popular one for me. And that's the foundation for my agency, right? It's one of the reasons why I've been able to come out here and travel, and my business is still operating, because people find my agency website. If you go to Google and you type in Hawaii SEO, let me know who pops up number one. I appreciate that. But people look for that, right? So I've done not only SEO for my business to help me rank higher to get leads coming inbound, but then I also offer that as a service. So this concept of learning how to do this skill and this service for yourself and then you can take that and sell it as a monthly service. I mean, it's changed my business dramatically. And so I was on this webinar with a guy named Mike Long, Greg Morrison. I think there was a guy named Cotton Grammer at the time on those webinars. David Mills, of course. And little did I know that 4 years later, we would come in contact with Mike and become pretty good friends with him. And so we have the privilege of hanging out with him on webinars and doing some trainings like we did yesterday. We have him here with us today. So we're going to bring him out, and we're going to talk story, and maybe even just talk a little more origin story. If you guys have questions, you can pop them in the chat, and we'll talk shop. So how's it going? How's it going, Mike?
Going good.
Hey, Mike.
You guys are talking merch?
I like it. Yeah. Nice.
Good.
Nice.
Rainmaker. I couldn't get my light set up, but this is me. This is my face. And just to remind everybody, money flying around all over the place out there. There really is. I'm telling you guys, I didn't know it. I grew up in abject poverty. I don't really want to say that on a main webinar. But I grew up in utter, violent, awful poverty, and for no good reason. And it sucks. And really making free the lifeblood of my business, it really changed my life. And you guys are damn right about Muhammad, because boy, did that humble me. Because I thought I had it hard.
Right.
Like Muhammad, I don't think he would mind me saying this. There were times when Muhammad would have to sleep outside, not because he was camping.
Yeah.
So
that was amazing. It was an amazing story to listen to. I mean, it got me choked up on the webinar when he was talking about all the stuff. I was
there's a reason I have my sunglasses here.
Yeah.
It was tearing up like yesterday. I can just quickly
just pop them on. Yeah. Well, there are two things I want to say before we dive in. One is, this is Tivana tea. Somebody asked me if I was drinking wine, but it's tea. I found it at the Costco.
That's the
black tea, I know.
Or a Steel Reserve right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other thing is, I just wanted to say this real quick. So I remember the day.
Drinking wine. Yeah, like you're a happy dude. Like I love you guys are so freaking special. I want to help you guys. We need a shark shout out Instagram, and I want to help you guys make it, because
that'd be awesome. Yeah.
I love sharks. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, what I wanted to say was, I remember the day that Nick came to me. So I'm doing the mailers. That's how I'm getting clients, right? Like I'm doing going out, using the mailer, doing the business verification method, using it with this directory site I had set up with the mailers. And I remember the day I'm sitting in Nick's office, and he's like, dude, I'm going to rank my agency website for Maui SEO and Hawaii SEO. And that's how I'm going to get clients. And all right, I have to be completely honest here. I turned to him and I was like, why? Like, you're nuts. I was like, we're getting clients already. Like, we get like, why would we wait all that time? And he was like, no. He's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then he went and did it. And then he's coming in and he's like, oh, look, I got this lead coming in and that lead coming in. And I'm like out there, talking to business owners, trying to them. And I was like, man, like, I wish I would have started doing that back then. Like, it was like crazy.
Also,
I wasn't a believer at first, but Nick made me a believer.
But it's the convert. It's funny because, and we learned the your town, your city SEO concept. We learned that from our customers. We learned that from our members in the early days of OMG, because David Mills designed OMG. So Greg Morrison and I, it was just us back then. We're nose to nose with our customers at the end. There was no avoiding them. There was no middleman. There was no secretary. There was no BA. There was no, apprentices. What are they called? What's it called when you work for free?
Interns. Interns. Yeah. Interns.
Nothing. No assistants. Nothing. No VAs. No nothing. The whole time. $70 million profit, by the way. And he forced us. If you want to do business with me, you're going to be nose to nose with your customers, the end. And we learned. And so it was David Hood, who I got to introduce you guys to. You guys are going to love David Hood. And Trish and Andrew Rydell. Trish and Andrew Rydell ranked #1 for Gold Coast SEO. And David ranked #1 for Dallas SEO expert of all things. And I think to this day, he's number one for Dallas SEO now. And they showed it to me, and I knew right away. I knew it in an instant. We just moved, so that's why I'm a silhouette, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not actually a silhouette. I'm not witness protection here. I just I don't know where they
We should have said Mr. X coming on the webinar. You know, people Mr. X. We can't reveal who it is.
yeah. I don't know where the power cord is for my ring light, but it goes back to what Muhammad said. And Tom, I love that you brought that up. It's so smart. And I want to say, like, this is special. I want everyone to know, and it's particularly easy, like right now, to say this, on a more informal webinar. But what these guys have done to set you up to be set for success is like, that's what I was saying about the Instagram. I was like, man, I fucking love sharks. And there's no Facebook group that I don't own that I'm more active in than sharks. I'm not saying I'm like the most active shark, right? But I mean, I saw with the mailers, I saw that one when it came up, and I was proud. I didn't know if that was who that was. I haven't met them before. What was the name of the?
Safira just did hers.
I was trying to figure out that's a what? Yeah, Safira, right? I remember seeing that and being like, dope.
I know.
It's something done, and I definitely comment. I mean, I'm quite sure. I mean, I'll be a little bit embarrassed if I didn't, but I'm pretty damn sure I hashtag boomed. You guys just do such a damn good job. But all right, so with these sites, with the city SEO, what I realized in an instant, and I will tell you this about me. I have my problems in life, but how do I say it? Funnels are not one of them.
Funnels are not one of them.
And 99 problems, but
right. And when I watch most people's, not sharks, but when I watch most people's funnels, I'm like Tom Brady watching, junior varsity football practice. Oh no! And I mean, we had the giant iOS update right now. We told people for years those Facebook ads, and now look at it. We have data. The biggest marketing company that serves like the biggest gurus that you see online, privately published to one of our members. I'll tell you, this is insider stuff that I normally wouldn't put out on a public webinar, but it's very powerful. They went from like a 3% conversion. So they'd be selling like whatever they're selling, like $100 product or whatever. And they'd be, and then of course it's part of a funnel and blah, blah, blah. They went, before the iOS update, they were selling at 3%. Now they're selling at 0.5%, which is you would think that that's less, but that doesn't, in paid ads, that does not mean less. And you guys can reflect this. That means you're pear-shaped. That means you are running ads at a loss. Like you used to put in $1 and get $3. Now you're putting in $1 and getting a quarter or 50 cents back. By the way, 50 cents. I just met like a few minutes ago, 50 cents bodyguard. I was just finishing up dinner, and I told him that the 50 cent video with him in his Rolls Royce Dawn, smiling and laughing, is like my all-time favorite GIF. If you've been in the Sharks group, you've probably seen me post that GIF. But anyway, 50 cents. You go from putting $1 in, and this is a major shift in the world economy, and it just happened. And Nick and Tom have put you in a place to utterly capitalize on it. Right.
Yeah, so, I think it's great that you brought that up, because maybe some people on the live don't really know what we're talking about. I know there are a couple of people on the webinar that were like, "Oh, this is the first I heard of this." So iOS rolled out this big update, right? And it basically
Facebook.com/business. They admit openly that Facebook ads are never going to be the same. It's a major resource. If you're not showing this to clients, you're making a mistake.
So Facebook.com/business is where they talk about it. But like what OS did was they enacted these privacy things. So now like you can just with one click turn off any data that Facebook can glean from your iOS operating system. And so it's like, like all of the targeting, ad targeting, and all that stuff is all skewed now, and and that's not going to go away. It's probably actually going to get more and more, and so the effectiveness of all that is less and less already. But even the other day, Nick sent me a text of a book he was reading where they were like just talking about Facebook strategy in general, and like one of the things that I took away from what he sent me was like, if you're not spending $1 million a month on ads, like Facebook considers you a small advertiser. So like there's like nothing you can, like they don't really, like they're not going to bend over backwards to help you, like, or do anything to really make sure you're doing
at the beginning of lockdown, Mohammadi, he told me this story. This goes to what you're saying. He really just wanted to help people with masks. He's loaded now, right? Like, so he's just rich. And he bought $100,000 worth of masks. I could show you the invoices. He had them. They were here, ready to ship. And Facebook went berserk on him. Started charging him $5,000 a day for literally nothing, for like a broken link thing. And they wouldn't even talk to him, Tom.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What it really came down to, I think, is that made this big shift for everybody. And some of you have probably seen this on your phone. It took previously, before the update, the apps that you have on your phone basically automatically assumed that you were okay with passing data back and forth from your iPhone to Facebook to Instagram to YouTube.
A great explanation.
Yeah, to Safari. So basically, if you're on Safari and you're looking at Amazon and you're looking at some specific product,
I've actually not heard it put this well. Just so you know, like I'm intensely focused on this topic.
And when you put it, and when you would appear on Facebook or social media or on their display network somewhere, you'd see the exact same pair of Gucci sunglasses like Mike has, just following you around the internet, right? Just following you around.
Yeah.
And so it went from a automatically assume yes to a now you have to opt in to be tracked around, to be followed around. So you guys that have iPhones might have seen that you go to a different app and it says Facebook is requesting to allow you to pass data.
And their brand is trash now. I mean, after November, I mean, their brand is just rough. Like,
so overnight, it really, I mean, it made a pretty massive, difference, right? So all these brands, retargeting is such a big thing. Like, you land on my website, I want to show you ads on social media and Facebook. It doesn't work anymore. And so the reason we bring all this up, everybody, is because these businesses that were paying for Facebook ads, they have to find other ways to make money now. Yes, and they're going back to like, what other opportunities are there for us to bring in more customers? Yeah. Search engine optimization is a very valuable service, obviously, but with all these agencies losing Facebook marketing customers, what are they going to do now?
What about the $200,000 case study? I mean, this is hard-won data that these guys have for you, like the Sharks have, that Nick and Tom have for you. It's hard-won data. They went out and did it. You win the Super Bowl. Nobody can say that you didn't win the Super Bowl, right? These guys have a client. They're making them $200,000 a month. Google SEO. Welcome to the show. And we have a whole. I posted Eric and Michael's Instagram on the webinar. That's an Instagram. It's who on the planet Earth besides Eric and Michael have an Instagram of success of AC repair people making $20,000 to $500,000 a month extra.
I've seen that Graham, that they have. It's pretty impressive. So let's see. Somebody asked Mike, and I don't really care either way, but I'm just asking, do you guys accept PayPal for Maps Rainmaker?
You know what, guys? So I have the craziest PayPal story, if you'll indulge me. I was in Ibiza.
You can just say no. It's okay. You don't have to get.
No. I have an answer. You guys can collect it and just tell me, and then I'll work it out. But I was in Ibiza. It was 20.
Mike only takes Bitcoin.
Yeah, I had $800,000 in my PayPal account. I was collecting $250,000 a month on PayPal, and I went down to the ATM to grab a little bit of cash. And the thing was like denied. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I went up and I logged into my PayPal account and they're like, you've been shut down. I was like, what? And it was super, super crazy.
Just like Facebook, right? Just like Facebook and iOS.
This is what I mean.
This is a great point. When you have your assets and the revenue driver in your business belongs to another entity like Facebook or PayPal. Like Tom and I are scared shitless of this. We always talk about having a single point of failure, right?
Oh, we do.
Single
We're
point
like,
of failure will put you out overnight. So when you own your own assets, like you have your own website and you're in control of that and people can come in that way, that's a different story. There's a lot more security into that. So, and also one thing that I think came up, I got a direct message yesterday after the webinar. Somebody asked me about like white hat versus black hat SEO and what's the difference? What is that? And what are the strategies that are taught in Maps Rainmaker, which is the course and software
these days. So what we used to do was we would spin articles.
Who wouldn't? I'm
just being honest. And we would try to do a good job of it. This is like way old, 2010, 2011. And then that just doesn't work right now. Like you don't want that and it doesn't make any sense. And it probably never did make sense. What we do is purely white hat in the sense that like, if you're thinking about value-driven business, then we have an utter focus on on-page SEO and conversion, because even your articles are going to get picked up. You know, like the articles that you post on. You used to be back in your day when you joined for $8,000, Nick. It used to be.
I'm not sad that I had to do that though. You know.
Yeah, I know it was worth it. But you would have to build your own private blog network websites and all that stuff.
Tom had one of those.
Yeah. Now it's just like super fast data entry. It's like 3 minutes instead of like 3 days or whatever. But what goes on behind the scenes is just for QGP, which is one of the main services, especially for affiliate marketing. And then we have map movers for maps. What goes on behind the scenes is super high quality content. Not that much of it, but whatever quality, the content is like really well researched. We have really strict editorial guidelines. We monitor, we watch. All right, so we have technology like so take Mohammed and Megan, who are like leading our websites. They watch as our writers research. They watch in real time them research, not all day, every day, but they either watch it as it's happening or they review it and they see, because our writing process is like figure out the right answer, then tell people. Okay, so that's our thing. So if you actually research well and then you tell people the outcome of the research. And because that's what it is. I mean, this is keywords. Like we're all talking about questions, right? It's like at the end of the day, Google is keywords, right? And keywords are always questions. Every keyword is implicitly a question, right? So our keyword process is very straightforward. It's like really find a great answer. And then once we're satisfied with the answer, we check off the process with the writer. This all happens. You don't do any of this stuff. We do all this crap for you, okay? But back in the day, Nick did this all himself. I'm telling you. He would have to go to Register Compass, right, Nick? You remember it well?
Yeah, you would have to go buy expired domains. This was back in the day when, I have some questions for you later after this call, but I even forgot his name. Greg.
Yeah.
Mr. PBN.
Yeah.
Mr. PBN. Yeah. But yeah, you'd have to go do all that. And for those of you that maybe some of this isn't making sense to you because you're fresh. Like I know some people speak SEO. So long story short, this is how SEO works, right? You have a website and Google wants to make your website come up, or you want your website to come up in Google for different search terms. It could be about roofing. It could be about SEO. Exactly. And so you have to,
and the maps listings are crazy.
And you have to tell Google, you have to show them that you're relevant for these terms.
Right.
Now, of course, you have to have a website that's got to be optimized properly. You have to have written content on it that has to be optimized properly.
Correct.
And then you have to have other signals that aren't on your website that have to point properly to your website.
You can't just show up to the high school. Like think about high school. Google is made like high school. You don't go into high school and declare that you're cool and be cool. Like that's a good way to not be treated well, right? Like that's a really, really, really good way to like have things go badly. Instead, you need the other cool kids to say that you're cool.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, you need backlinks from other people.
You need
that is a good way.
Right? Relevance. Go ahead, Nick.
So I was just going to say that. So one of those things, like for people that are already doing SEO right now, where are you, or do you can just answer yes or no. Do you have a quality source for backlinks that are white hat? Because the way that links are generated in Mike's program is actually, I mean, if you do nothing else and you just want to get a verified source of getting backlinks, I mean, you join his program for that. Because those of you that, and I mentioned this yesterday, I've tried all of the ways to get links, quality links. I've tanked websites to the bottom of search engines because I've bought links off of Fiverr and Becker's old platform when he had SourceWave or whatever the hell it was called. I remember.
No, I mean, Greg spotted that, and Greg reached out to him and said, "Look, this is a disaster waiting to happen." And I reached out to him ahead of time, Source Autopilot, and that it was a great program, and then it was just completely a disaster.
So what Mike and his team have is they have a team that literally reach out to other websites.
Yeah.
And they try to build a guest post backlink. So they say, hey, you have a great website that's about,
and we pay them,
sparkling water.
Yep.
And then they say something along the lines of, I've written this blog article about why sparkling water
we showed the article. It's already
smarter.
It's pre-written. They don't even have to guess what the article is. We're like, here's this great article. We've already written it. It hits the main key points. It has all the keywords. Boom. And it converts. The other thing is it converts. These websites get freaking traffic.
So I get my links from there, and I include in my reporting to my customers information about these links, and it makes the perceived value very high. But the other thing that I want to say about that, so number one, great place to get trusted links. I get my links there. So if you are wondering where to get links, that's where I get them.
The only place, yeah.
The other thing is the way that search engine optimization works, and I explained this yesterday, but I want to recap it for people, is if I sell somebody $1,000 per month search engine optimization service, what I do is I take that money and then I pay somebody to write a blog article to get a backlink, and maybe I do a couple other things in that month. Maybe I optimize the page a little bit, but I pay somebody else to do all this, right? And all that money that has to go into paying somebody to do those things or buying those different signals comes out of that $1,000 retainer. And we're left with around a 70% margin. And all the top SEOs, when you talk about margin and how much money you keep versus how much money you spend, all the best that are running not like the enterprise agency where they have some high-rise building somewhere with tons of people working in it. I'm talking about the guys that and ladies that have a laptop and they have 6-figure months, multiple 6-figure years. Those people, they all have a 70% margin. The people that have all the other stuff with thousands of employees or whatever, their margins are much lower because they have to pay for all that stuff. But you don't need to have all that.
Yeah.
You don't need to have all that. You can have an awesome life and a lot of freedom with, a 6-figure business.
And that's the whole thing is the laptop lifestyle. Go ahead, Tom. It's amazing.
Yeah, I want to do one thing. I'm going to interrupt you guys for a minute. First of all, Michael, Rayburn, we're live. We're always live on the Friday Marketing Live Jam session. It's in the name. We're live. Second.
We're live in Miami.
We need to give away some Cash App money. So I have a question in mind. So let's do that real quick, and then we'll take some more questions, okay? So right now we're going to...
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money.
Dollar. Cheating, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
I love you guys.
That's right. If you ain't talking money, you're talking no matter.
It's just like Coachella, huh, Mike?
I love you.
Yeah. Hey, so I thought of an SEO question we can ask. I'm not even going to look at the questions we had in the show notes. I'm going to ask an SEO related question. Here's the deal. The first person to put the answer in the chat is going to win some Cash App money. So we were just talking about backlinks and the importance of backlinks, right? So in local SEO, there is another thing. It's not a backlink. It's similar that you use to rank in local SEO. Can somebody put the name of what those are called inside the chat? Does that question make sense, Nick?
Yeah, I almost said
I would just add on to it.
I almost said it. Let me check this out. My gosh, this is so active. How many
Okay, all right.
people are
So
on
I
this thing?
see. Wait. I saw Dorn was like Mr. Quick on the trigger.
Suzette
Mr.
got it.
SEO.
That got it. Facebook user got it.
Okay,
It
so I'm
looks
gonna do. So we're gonna do two things. So we're gonna send some cash out money to Dorn because he was quick on the trigger. But
Storm was the
I
first,
also want to send to the next person there to Chris.
Chris
Barsis?
Barsis.
Chris Barsis.
Chris has
Yep,
an incredible
citation.
spelling
So,
of it.
Yeah.
yep, you both got it. It's good. I know what he means. I know what he means.
That's,
and I
that's
wanna
why Chris
reward
was
him.
slower than Dorn, is because Chris had the.
He was like,
Yeah, he's like trying to type as fast as possible. So, Dorn and
Great.
Chris, you get some cash out money. Throw your
But
cash out
this is
tag.
what I mean. You guys get people ready. Well, at the end of the webinar, my final words, I said, these guys get you guys and gals 90% of the way. I mean, they put you on the 1 inch line. Like, what do you want? Like you're on the goal line. Like, you know, we have the Tom Brady offense, the Tom Brady, you know, software, all that stuff. These guys put you in the freaking red zone. They care so much about this. Like I guarantee you Nick could make more money with his agency, just focusing on his agency, than doing Sharks by far. There's absolutely no fucking doubt. Like, we have six-figure per month agencies. Most of them started in the last 18 months. And Nick and Tom have such a devotion to this. And I've watched them. We watch people. Like, I'm Bob Proctor's highest lifetime recommendation year after year. You can look it up on YouTube, have fun. But that video, but it's good for you. It's nourishing. It's like you go to a great restaurant. They have great food with great ingredients. That chef, he's not that great restaurant. That chef at New York City, they're the Fisherman's Wharf there, right? That top guy is waking up at 4 a.m. That top chef at 4 a.m. to go out to that Fisherman's Wharf and buy the very best catch that's coming straight off the boat. He knows the top guys and gals that do it. He treats them with respect, right? And he gets gangster stuff into his restaurant. And you guys are like that. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a freaking honor. Sharks have great success in Rainmaker. They have great success in Rainmaker because they're set up for success.
Well, you know, one of the things too, like we did this awesome training yesterday with Mike and Michael and Dan and Mohammedi was on there. It was really great training. We recorded it, we got a good recording. If you guys want to watch it, I'm going to there's a link scrolling across the bottom of the screen. When this live is over here shortly, you can go to offlinesharks.com/Rainmaker and watch it. I'll tell you, it is a little different style of a webinar. It's kind of like it's a little bit chaotic, right? But
scheduled for 2 hours. How long did it go? It was like literally like
we went 220, but the last one you did, we were on there for 4 hours. Like the last time we had Mike on to do a webinar, Nick and I left the webinar, interviewed a new team member, came back, and Mike was still going. So we were like, this time we were like, dude, we got to keep it to 2 hours. So
and we were nowhere near 2
they did
hours.
a great 220. We were like ecstatic. So, but I mean, it is a little chaotic, but there's great info in it, right? And they share a lot of great stuff, and you'll see about the Rainmaker program.
We're not here to turn somersaults for people. We're here to change your stars. Like the thing that makes Sharks different. Let me tell you this. It's very special. Sharks don't, Nick and Tom, Cam, the team, they don't see you as bait. Like, you're not there for their pleasure. Like, they're there to serve you. And they know how. And they work extremely hard behind the scenes. I spend way more time talking to Nick and Tom when they're not promoting Rainmaker than when they are, for example. Why?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Why? Because they're getting ready. They're preparing, right? It happens in the preparation. These are extraordinary people. You mentioned Becker. Becker brought in his era. Let me tell you about David Mills. This is a talent grab. Okay. I'll just be straight up with you because this is more candid. This is behind the scenes, like a little bit like, getting on the Rush Limbaugh show or Howard Stern or whatever, behind the scenes stuff. Right. Like the webinar is the webinar. We believe it or not, we're disciplined and focused. We were extremely structured, by the way, guys, before the webinar. Nick just got fired up at the end. And so we had to go, and we loved it. We loved it. It was a beautiful, beautiful webinar. But just so you two guys know, I was like on the phone with Michael and Mohammadi and Eric before the webinar, and Dan. Like, this is going to be 30 minutes. This is going to be 15 minutes, and then the timeline just went out the door. But the thing is, changing your stars. It's like you win the Super Bowl. You win the Super Bowl. You won the Super Bowl. They can't say you didn't do it. Nick built his agency, $25,000 last month. He's in New York City at Yankee Stadium, where I would go as a child, and it was an incredible emotional experience for me. Don Mattingly and Dave Winfield, like heroes to me, and he's making $25,000 a month. And I couldn't even concept that. Like when I was a little kid, I was like, I hope I can make $50,000 in a year one day. Do you guys? I mean, I'm sure. Like, and now it's like, I don't know. If I don't make $50,000 in a month, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, cool. All right, off month, right? Off year. But it's the thing is that with David's designs, you are set up for success. Like, we set you up for success, but we run into this rare situation. It's happened now twice. It did happen the early days with Becker. And I said this thing. I was like, dude, bro, like, this is like Becker. I mean, Becker. Like, it reminds me because Becker made a whole program to get people ready. Like, it would be like making college football because you love NFL so much.
Yeah. That's great.
That's what you've got right here. Like, what you have
me up, Mike.
So special.
Yeah.
I said it. I said Becker. I literally was on a webinar. We were on a webinar. We were probably on this webinar, and we were selling OMG like a $30 ebook at $8,000, and Becker was posting little gifs of like Donald Duck, or not, that was Scrooge McDuck diving into the gold, and what's the guy from Family Guy, Peter, just running around and being happy. He's posting gifs on, like, during the webinar. I'm seriously trying to talk during this webinar, right? I'm seriously like trying to be an adult, right? And talking to people about changing their lives. And Becker is posting on his kind of interstitial page the most ridiculous gifts, and people are ordering. Probably Nick was probably one of them, like crazy. And it's because if you nail the game, it is what it is, right? Yeah. Like if you won the Super Bowl, so you can't gaslight Tom Brady. Be like, Tom Brady, you're nothing, bro. Get to the back of the line, right? No, he's Tom Brady. He's won 7 Super Bowls, right? This situation that you're in right now, and the situation, and we have enormous resources. Pardon my French. Enormous.
Hey! We got children on this stream.
Pardon me. I had
all
a
right.
All
right.
Hey, wait,
hold on.
I want to take this question too that Patty asked, because I thought this is a good question. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. Like, do you guys talk about this at all in Rainmaker, like voice search optimization?
Voice search optimization. So that's basically part of the whole thing. When you do SEO, you get suggestive search. We use keywords everywhere for suggestive search. But we just had a training webinar yesterday. It was so good. We explained what you want is emerging trends. So what people are asking right now is all well and good, and we do rank for that for sure. AC repair San Jose, AC repair Los Angeles. Alex, who's doing it, just did a training for us. He was saying, like, look, when he got he got offered, this is just rank and file, quote unquote rank and file Rainmaker. Got offered 7, because we don't just do GMBs, we do e-commerce, we do affiliate marketing. We just don't get into that much on webinars. But he has an e-commerce site. It's in the CBD market. He was pointing out that when he got into CBD, that if you would type in CBD gummies, for example, it like Google would auto suggest cat gummies, right? So Google did not recognize the phrase CBD when he got into it, right? Now he has a website, SEO, all SEO, same link software that we use. He got offered 7% of his site, $450,000 last week.
Damn.
$450,000 from his own distributor, who was like, if you would please accept $450,000, no strings attached, then I will sell you your stock at radically reduced prices. Because and iOS update, by the way, that's another reason.
Yeah. Wow.
So I just want to say something else on that question really quick. That is a really good question, because as somebody that is a search engine optimizer, right? As an SEO, you're going to, with your new God-given powers, when you start to rank your own website
on loan from God,
you're going to be going through your day. You're going to be like, holy shit, there's this new thing that's out. I should be the first one for that, or in my area, like me, right? Like if it's Groove Funnels or Click Funnels, or there's this new like, you're going to be that person in your area, and you're going to be the first one there. Or maybe it's not even in marketing. Maybe it's for one of your customers, right? Maybe there's this new form of solar. Maybe there's a new type of AC installation.
Drones initially.
When you are the person that can do that, when you can bring somebody first to market, imagine how powerful and financially powerful that is for your business. So
Nick,
and so write those down. Every SEO writes those down. Every SEO has, I use Evernote. I have a list of valuable terms that I come up with throughout the day. And I always write them down, and I'll go after them. So
Nick, there was an era when it was just drones. Now there's drone racing. There's a lot of self-driving, like AI. Those are all emerging markets. It's completely different. And drones were white hot, and we made so much money off of them. And then things changed. Gold. Greg Morrison sold $2 million.
Yeah, I saw that
in the last 90 days.
I saw that.
$2 million. That's just a bonus. And did we even mention it on the webinar? I don't even think we even got around to it.
I mentioned it.
Oh.
Okay, so we made small mention of it, but we didn't do some big song and dance about it or jump up and down. We have a whole bonus workshop. You get to get inside of our gold program with Kelly Felix, and $2 million in gold he sold. We have
through SEO, through affiliate SEO, we should say, so people know.
Yeah, for affiliate SEO, you can sell gold. Yeah,
but the techniques translate, right? Like local SEO and affiliate, like it's not, there's not a huge jump there. Like as you're learning one, you're learning parts of the other. Another thing, Patty, too, real quick, just another thing to say about Patty's question is, if you're a Shark Alliance Elite member, we have the local SEO Shark Academy in there, and we have a video in there on voice search optimization that I did, so you can check that out too. But yeah, awesome. Well, man, these were great questions. This was an awesome live. Look, I think Mike, it was awesome to have you on here.
Let me just compliment you guys one last time. And I started saying this. We have enormous resources. How did Amazon shoot up? They raised a bunch of venture capital, and they got the best talent that money could buy. We've got the best talent that money cannot buy. Oh no, I'm not kidding at all.
That's awesome.
Valley. Hold on to your wallet, Silicon Valley. Don't buy a new boat or anything like that. Yeah. Money flying around all over the place. And Nick and Tom are such special people. Let me please testify that I really endorse Sharks. Whenever they come out with something, I'm a personal affiliate. I personally, with my own personal reputation, endorse them every single time.
We appreciate it, Mike.
We appreciate it.
I'm not the biggest or this or that, but like my, like if you want to know if Mike Long endorses Nick and Tom, Mike Long endorses Nick and Tom.
Well, we appreciate that, man. And the training
Long
was
way.
great. The Rainmaker program is awesome. Nick and I,
Wow.
we only bring things to the Sharks that we believe in or that we've used, right? And this whole process that you learn in Rainmaker, it's the process that Nick learned, used to rank his agency, all that stuff. One of the reasons we were excited to bring it. So you can watch the replay, go to offlinesharks.com/Rainmaker. Nick, we need to give away a few more Cash App monies too.
Are we going to do that crazy video again?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it again. Here you go.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Cheating, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then your talking don't matter.
Yeah, great, right?
You're right.
We're having some T-shirts made that say "Here comes the money." It's going to be awesome.
So
good.
I hope that Cameron just messaged me, and he told me that we do have another Cash App winner that's already a winner. So I hope Scott Voss did not leave yet. Scott, are you still in the hanging out with us? Because you are one of our Cash App winners. He actually guessed who the mystery man coming on the stream today was, and it was Mike. So Cameron wanted me to make sure I got that out there before we got off the stream. And then I'm gonna do the winners who commented on the shout outs. So those people are Bill Stanley, George Propas, and Janice Douglas.
Woohoo! Congratulations.
All of you, please put your cash tag in the comments so we can send you some
Making it
cash
rain.
money.
Making it rain, baby.
Making it rain.
Right.
So
Making it rain.
I wanted to say this one more time because I know Bill was asking, or not Bill, Mark. Mark was asking, when you get in the Rainmaker program, are there a lot of other expenses you need to consider? Mark, there aren't, but you have to consider this. So the one thing that I will say is when it comes to links, you are going to collect the customer money and then use that money to buy links. You will find that anywhere. So what you get in the course is the step-by-step blueprint of making websites rank, all that stuff. But they do show you, and then they have some sources of their own where you can get the signals that are verified and qualified for you to building your site. But there's no ongoing fees other than that, than getting in. So once you're in, you're in. And then the next step is really for you to start implementing and ranking your own site, getting some skills there, and then going out and doing it for other people. That's the process. You collect their money and then you pay for the 30%, and then you keep the rest. So that's how SEO works. And don't look at it like that. I know people think about that. Are there any ongoing expenses? And you think about the linking process, but you don't pay for that.
You make free the lifeblood of your business.
Yeah, your customers pay for that. So
yeah, I mean, yeah. Remember,
you even get leads off of your Google SEO, and the power thing with a SEO agency like that, the Hawaii SEO, that Maui SEO, it's a powerful. Tom, you said this. I'll wrap this up this way. You said this. It was so smart. Mohammed said, "I can't speak English, but I can speak SEO." But he wasn't making a claim. He was showing them he was number one for Yonkers SEO.
Yep.
And it's not the hardest thing to rank for. It's actually not very hard to rank for at all. Not with our software. But
no.
Nick, come on. You show that to the client, they're like, okay. I mean, not everybody, but most of them.
It's like James said right here. He said it's easier to rank for, an expert with your name, right? Like Nick Ponte Marketing, so that you can look yourself up or they can look you up. That's a great way to showcase what you can do, James. Like if you can, and that's the whole positioning. It's positioning when you rank for, if I wanted to rank for Maui SEO expert, like maybe somebody had Maui SEO, but I went after Maui SEO expert, which nobody's going for, right?
For sure.
I can email people now saying, if you look me up, Maui SEO expert, there I am, number one, or Yonkers SEO expert, or top SEO.
You can just tell them what to search for, and it's like they'll do it and be like, "Oh yeah, this guy knows what he's doing." Yeah,
it's a credibility thing, and yeah, you can once you know how to do it, you can really
and that's about the skill level that you need to rank somebody for Roofer Maui anyways. Like, what's the problem? It's about the same thing.
It's the same thing.
very genuine. It's very honest process. Like there's this wacky idea that the sharks have, which is great. It's called integrity. In quotes, right? Integrity. Integrity is in high demand these days, folks.
Yeah, awesome. Well, look, if you guys enjoyed this, head over, watch the replay, offlinesharks.com/Rainmaker. We know you guys are going to love it. If you have questions, you can ask them in the Facebook group. Mike's in there. We're all in there. You can also reach out to us at support, offlinesharks.com/support. Mike, thanks so much for taking time out of your Friday.
Thanks, Mike.
Man,
You guys
we
are literally
appreciate
the
it.
best. You're my actual.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody. You're my actual favorite affiliates. But don't
Oh, well, we appreciate that, man.
Oh, and
For the rest of you out there, enjoy your Friday. Stay safe. Practice aloha.
Please come
We'll see you
on.
guys later.
You've been listening to the Sharks Live Show, your weekly local marketing jam session. Every week, packed full of local marketing strategy, tactics, tips, and fun. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube and Tom's podcast at tomgaddis.com. We'll be back here next Friday for another Sharks Live Show. Until then, aloha.